Sup guys, it's Groovy Dominoes 52, and today I want to share to the world on what I've been working on for almost 7 years. The project is called Musical Day. But what is Musical Day? Musical Day is a musical feature-length film. It's a full movie with a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes, produced by Red Horse Productions, the number one in producing movies, which is also famously owned by THTR, the company that distributes and advertises the movies. Now, with a feature-length film that looks like this, you might expect a big production studio like Hollywood to be behind something like this. But here's the catch. The whole movie is primarily only made by 3 people. Me, Griffin, and Ghostly. And Red Horse Productions isn't even a real company. So is THTR. Red Horse Productions by THTR is just supposed to be some sort of Disney bootleg and was just made to make the movie feel real for the intro, you know, like where the production company logos are shown in the beginning of the film. Musical Day is just our passion project. This is the current plot of the movie. February 26, 2018. 2 best friends, Groovy and Griffin, try to survive 3 violently dangerous children-like anomalies known as the 3 Kids, as they sing their way to survival in a musical adventure. Now, the plot of Musical Day is actually based on a sort of real thing that happened on February 26, 2018. On that day, me and Griffin were hiding from 3 kids, my 2 nephews and niece. If you're an elder brother in the family, you might relate to this, but because the kids were so wild when I was around, Griffin usually found it too annoying, and he didn't exactly have the best relationship with the kids. So we would hide from them every time that they're around. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This was during the golden age of my music, 2018. Back in these golden ages, my brain would just randomly create, original catchy melodies without even having to think consciously on purpose. It just happens. And this would happen at least once or even more than once every single day. And when that happens, I would record myself singing the melody so I don't forget. And at first, especially because I'm not a singer, it doesn't sound like much.
Space all again, night we roam again.
But these melodies could later be turned into real studio versions or full songs.
Tonight we roam again, space all again.
However, on this specific day, February 26, 2018, while hiding from the kids, my brain came up with not 1, not 2, not 3, but over 25 different melodies that could each potentially become into a real full song, hence the name Musical Day.
Musical Day!
All just randomly singing about what was happening that day. Griffin did some random singing as well, which would bump up the count to 30 songs being born that day.
It's stupid and I don't wanna hear that song.
Okay, I'll stop.
So all of the songs that you will see in Musical Day are actually canon, and I really sung them on February 26, 2018. This is really what the movie is about. Now remember, we are just 3 guys, although mostly 1 or 2 working on the movie. We are not a studio, and we do not have a studio helping us make the film, which means Musical Day will not be officially distributed by any real company. This movie will not come out in real theaters. Instead, the full movie will be premiered on YouTube completely for free. Now, Now, yes, the movie will be monetized, but nothing too crazy. But even without a studio, we aim to make Musical Day look and feel like a real movie that would have been shown in theaters as much as possible, despite the lack of team members working on this. Like, I want people to be tricked into thinking it's a real film made by a AAA studio when they see like a random clip from Musical Day, and to hear them ask, what movie is this from? Now, there is one problem about this movie that I will admit. This movie isn't necessarily the best thing you'll ever see, especially to the average person. And I also want to mention that there are swear words occasionally, so it's not family friendly. But I'm very sure the average person who knows nothing about me, Groovy Dominoes, will find the movie to be cheesy, cringy, cheap, generic, or weird, especially the story and the songs, which doesn't really make that much sense in the movie. And I can understand all of that. And those are all completely valid points. But please do understand that this is what I'm passionate doing. And I've done my best here as an individual. The plot of the movie is based on a roleplay session that I had when I was 14 and carefree. Now, there are tiny modifications just to make it a bit better to view for the average person, but I really wanted it to stay faithful to the original in some way. So yeah, there are points where it literally was made by a child. And another thing I want to point out is that while making this movie at first, none of us had absolutely no experience in real filmmaking, film scoring, VFX, color correction, acting. I never went to school learning any of that, but I've spent the past 7 years learning and researching each of those completely from scratch just to make this movie happen. It's the best one guy can do without a studio. But the question is, why? If you're new to this channel, you may notice that I mainly do Roblox videos on this channel. So why the sudden shift? Well, I've been sitting on this project for a really long time. Like I said, 7 years. And now is really the only chance to finally finish it and make my dreams come true after everything that I've learned. Other than the Roblox content that I make on this channel, I've always loved making films and making fictional characters behind the scenes while not making content on YouTube. And these films and characters are part of what I call the Groovy Dominoes 52 universe. Okay, there is one more major problem with this movie that I forgot to mention. The target audience for this movie are the citizens of the Groovy Dominoes 52 universe. They already know who the characters are beforehand. They already know the lore of their universe. They kind of know what to expect from this movie, basically. It's kind of like the FNAF movie and the Mario movie, where those fans of those franchises enjoy it, but those who aren't fans or know nothing about FNAF or Mario think the movie's trash. And yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, but that's not even the main problem. The main problem is that the target audience for this movie doesn't even exist. Obviously, the citizens of the Groovy Dominoes 52 universe aren't real. This is reality. And in real life, anything about the Groovy Dominoes 52 universe and its lore is completely private. Like, actually, only 5 people in the entire world really knows anything about it and how deep the lore really goes. Basically, only the members of the Groovy gang. Which means I'm going to have to create that target audience right now. However, the Groovy Dominoes 52 universe and its lore is kind of complex and there's a lot of moving parts to it. And so for that reason, I'm going to have to make a separate video finally sharing it to the public after it's been kept in closed doors for over 10 years. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that. One of the minor goals that I hope for this movie is that, well, it will be received well if it ever goes viral. However, the main goal that I had when I first worked on this movie is just to make something outstanding and really push the limits of what one person could do on their own. So that when I look at what I've accomplished, it will just be unbelievable to me that I was able to do that on my own. Now, of course, I needed someone to help direct the film and do the camera work, so it was more of a team effort. But basically, I wanted to make something that when I look at it, I can fool myself into thinking that that's impossible. I couldn't make something like that. That was made by a big production studio and not one person. And yet, when I actually think about it, I know I made it. It's right there in front of my eyes. It's real. And one of the biggest things that I wanted to offer in this movie is how all of the music, including all of the background music, is all original and made by me. I did not want to use any of that royalty-free stuff. I wanted everything to actually be owned by me for true originality. But hey, if it doesn't go well and the movie just completely flops, honestly, the experience making this project was so surreal to me and I couldn't be any happier. Like, imagine to spend every week working on a passion project with your best friends is always a good experience. It's honestly been a roller coaster ride, especially at the end of the production, but that's okay because let's be real here. Not everything is perfect. Sometimes things just don't go as planned as you wanted it to be. But that's okay because at the end of the day, I had fun with my friends and that's all that matters. So if you have a friend that you want to do a silly project with, then do it. It always helps to make your friendship stronger, and if things don't go well, just be thankful that you even get to spend time together. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys look forward to seeing the trailer and the movie's release, and I'll see you guys next time.